Hey everybody, welcome back and welcome. Thank you guys for being here or for being back, I appreciate it. We're going to check out a mage today because it's the beta, we should test some stuff. It looks like right away my first initial reaction is that like something is bugged out about their eyes. Right, they don't have a glow. So that's bug number one. We'll make sure that we report that as soon as we log in. Because yeah, something is not quite right. And it's like, it affects all of the night elves. Well, the Death Knight, their eyes glow a little bit. But yeah, like I tried like changing faces and the eyes just like, they don't glow, that's it. So we'll say no eye glow. Can I play on private servers? Absolutely not, because private servers are illegal, and I am putting content up on YouTube. So I cannot play on private servers, nope. Alright, try Arcane. Arcane's awesome? Yeah, let's get into it, let's see. Okay.
After years of imprisonment within the Emerald Nightmare,
does Arcane have the arcane power charges in Cataclysm? Is that when they got that?
Returned to the mortal world. Reunited with his love, Tyrande Whisperwind, Malfurion endeavors now to heal the corrupted world tree Teldrassil and rejuvenate the spirit of the Night Elf people. Yet as the great cataclysm shakes the boughs of their colossal tree, the Night Elves brace themselves against the coming storm. As war and destruction close in from all sides, it falls to Night Elves like you to stand strong and protect the enduring legacy of your people.
You can't play Wrath no more with the Cata update? Are you asking if when they push Cata out to live, because this is beta, so this is not live. Are you asking if when they push Cata out to live that we won't be able to play Wrath anymore? Yeah. No, all the servers are probably going to roll into Cata servers. Exactly how all servers rolled to Wrath servers when we left Burning Crusade. You remember Burning Crusade? You remember when we were playing Burning Crusade and then Wrath came out and all of those servers became Wrath servers? That's what's going to happen with all of the Wrath servers so far as we know. And they haven't told us otherwise. So we can only assume they're going to do the exact thing they did before unless they come out and tell us that they're going to do otherwise.
What brings you?
Oh man, let's change a couple of things here. We can shrink that down. Let's unlock the frames. That should be good. I'd like to align it around the cast bar. Let's see. Oh, that is a fast cast. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. That should be okay. Let's see what happens when we put on additional action bars. Yeah, that still looks pretty good. But it was so nice playing Wrath. Well, I mean, you got to have 2 years with it, which is longer than we got for Burning Crusade. We got 1 year for BC, and so yeah, just you know, be happy with what you get. Like I tell my kid, be happy with what you get and don't throw a fit. Be happy with what you get and don't throw a fit. Because it could have been worse. You could have only had 1 year with Wrath. You've had 2 years to play it. You got new dungeon types. You got harder 5-mans. You got all kinds of cool stuff for Wrath. But it's time for Wrath to come to an end, and for Cataclysm to reign. It's time. Greetings, I am Ithilane. My purpose in Shadowglen is to train young mages like you and ensure that the balance of nature is maintained. The spring rains were particularly heavy this year. This is the same exact quest from Vanilla. Did nothing change here with the... Did nothing change here? With the Cataclysm? I wasn't expecting the very first quest to be exactly the same. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this like incomplete? Or is this how it is? Like, if I fire up retail right now, and I go to Shadowglen, is Ithilane gonna have me hunt down 6 Night Sabers? Just like he did? No, the starting zones are not. Most of them have been very different, at least initially. Especially initially, they have been very different. Like, the way they start, like, in the Dwarven area, you're, like, under attack by Trogs. In the Tauren area, you're under attack by Quillbore. I haven't played the Orc area. But no, all the starting areas have been, like, the very initial area has been very different. So I'm kind of wondering if, like, you know how the eyes are not glowing? Like, we don't have eye glow? Like, maybe these areas are not updated. Because it doesn't look updated. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. Let's go to the bug reporter. I have encountered a bug. Night elves seem to have no eye glow. Their eyes don't glow. There we go. Let's go ahead and submit that. Dark Shore is where the big changes are at? Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing it, but okay. Anyway, let's play, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I feel like I'm really surprised that none of the assets are different. That like nothing, the quest isn't different. Nothing is different. I don't know. Maybe Plunderstorm has just like ravaged my brain. I don't know. This looks it looks a little awkward with it being attached to the cast bar like that. Maybe I don't like that. That looks okay. The Night Elves do have a really cool cast animation. Like, that's pretty cool. I don't know what the practicality is of going up on one leg like that. It seems really impractical, but it looks really cool. It's better than the males. Do they do one of the things where they like channel it at their head, like they put their hands up by their face and they channel it? Is that what they do? I hate when races do that. The dwarves do that with lightning bolt. Like the dwarf shaman, like she channels the electricity in her hands first, in her face, and then she pushes it forward. It's like, why would you gather your energy literally at your face? It doesn't make sense. One leg is practical for aiming. It seems... I don't know a lot about, like, humans. But I know that when I'm on one leg, I feel like not always totally 100% balanced. Like, maybe that's just me. I imagine trying to fire a projectile while balancing on one leg. I don't know if I'd be more accurate. It almost seems like the opposite would be true. But then again, projectile weapons are not magic, so who knows? Alex, you got so used to Leatrix Plus selling your trash automatically that without it, you opened the vendor window and then you just waited for the trash to go away. But it never went away. Right, that moment where you just like sit there and you're like, oh. Yeah, that would happen to me in retail sometimes. Like, I would open up the vendor, I'd sit there I'd be like, oh, I have to click this annoying button to actually sell my trash. It's not gonna actually sell my trash unless I say to. So I know how you feel. Let's see, you seem to know what you're doing. Perhaps I can task you with something a little more important. As you may well know, the corruption in Teldrassil was supposedly wiped away, Yet something lingers. The creatures have not calmed, and all manner of problems still plague us. I need you to deal with the Grelkin that have gathered to the west, and while you're there, I want you to search them for fell moss. So this is different, I think. I think this is combining or moving somebody else's quest to him. I thought we got this quest from a Dryad.
Farewell.
I'm pretty sure we got that from a Dryad initially. I don't know if this guy was always here. Maybe he was. Vicious little Grell, they've been stealing from our food stores again. If you wouldn't mind lending a hand, they are sure to have my stolen bags within their camps to the west. I'd be glad to reward you if you can bring them back to me. This is new. Okay, so we're good. They did change it. We got a 6-slot bag here we never would have had originally. So yeah, we're good. Do we need to vendor? Not really. And we don't need to train level 2. I don't think there is anything to train at level 2. So let's go hunt for the Grelkin. No warrior. No, not today. I wanted to try something different. It's a beta, so like, you know, it'd be cool to max a character out, but again, it's a beta, so I want to try different things. My plan for Kata is to, ideally, I would have a melee DPS character and a ranged DPS character. Yeah, ideally. And let's be honest, like if I want a DPS and I'm in a situation where I'm going to be pugging a lot of raids, I'm probably going to want to like see about finding a ranged DPS that I like. Just in case nobody wants to bring a DPS warrior, as they are sometimes loath to do. You know, they don't often want... usually if there's like a DPS warrior, it's like the guild leader. So if I'm going to be pugging a lot, I might want to have a mage. I'm not digging where these are located. I really wish I could have immersion. Like, I wish they would get the immersion add-on working. Mainly so I can use the immersion box to align, like, where I want my health bars. Because I'm used to them being in a very specific spot. And now everything else looks a little off. This looks better. This looks about the size of a immersion box. It might not be perfectly aligned, so I'm sorry if that bothers anybody. The Paladin Dragonflight series almost got you back into playing, but then you were like, nah. That's fine. The game will still be there if you ever do want to come back. It's not going anywhere. Just wait till War Within. Like, don't come back and play Dragonflight. If you're not playing WoW right now, like, don't come back right now. Come back for retail when War Within is out, and come back for Classic when Cataclysm launches, but don't come back right now. You're kind of between things right now. It'll be a much better experience in a few months. Immersion does work. I was having trouble finding it. Let me check. Let's open up our Curse Forge here. And we'll see. I looked for a couple add-ons yesterday under the Classic tab, and I didn't find them. Okay, Cataclysm Classic Beta. Cool. Let's see. Immersion. And no results. Maybe I need to go... Let's go... No, I said browse for add-ons. Okay, browse for add-ons. Immersion. No results. I'm not seeing it. I'm like... I can see a list of add-ons that do exist, but when I go to search for stuff, I'm not finding it. I see DBM, I see weak auras, auctionators here. No immersion, though. Weird. It's not like a big deal. I mean, it is kind of a big deal because it's like really hard for me to actually read the quest. So like the quest text is like really bad. So that's kind of a big deal. Like it is hard for me to read the typeface that they use on the yellow like paper color is really bad. They found like the least pleasing combination of typeface and like background color. It's almost like no human ever tried to look at it and read it on a monitor. Like, it's so difficult to read. Unless you increase your... I guess you could increase your UI scale. Maybe that would make the font a bit bigger. I haven't really played around with that at all. I wish there was a way in the default quest to, like, just increase the font size within the game. Like, just to be able to make this... If this were a little bit bigger, it might be readable. The type of font itself is just really bad on this color. It's... Ugh. Anyway, that's my rant about the WoW quest log that's been in the game for, you know, 20 years. And will probably never get changed. Now, if I could focus on what I'm doing, I can get the rest of the fell moss and the stolen bags. Night Elf Warlocks? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't see what it matters, you know, like they're able to, so they're using Arcane again, and Arcane was like a big no-no for them. It was like they absolutely cannot use Arcane again because of everything that happened. So they're already using Arcane, like why not use the Fel? Like I don't... You've already crossed the line, like, from your previous like morals. Why not go all the way and summon demons? I don't see why not. That would actually be a cool race class combo. Can you be a Night Elf Warlock in retail? I know they gave Warlock to like a bunch of races. Because Night Elf Warlock actually sounds pretty cool. Like, my Warlock is a Void Elf, which is like, okay, Void Elf Warlock, that's fine. I should have been a Void Elf Shadow Priest. That would have been a lot better. And then I could have saved Warlock for somebody else. They can be Warlocks in retail. Wow. Night Elf Shamans? Night Elf Shamans would be cool too, man. Yeah. That's a good idea. Like, you're under the premise that, like, if you can use nature magic as a shaman, you should be able to use nature magic as a druid. Is that kind of like the internal logic on that one? Because yeah, I can see that. Like but maybe eventually that would be a good way to give them shaman. Like, if you can be a shaman or a druid, you can also be the other one. Would be a good like philosophy to give those classes to more races. Because I think that Druid and Shaman are still the most restricted classes, even in retail. It still feels like they're pretty restricted. Gnomes deserve Paladin. My logic has always been that if a race can be a priest, and a race can be a warrior, that race can be Paladin. That's always been my stance. If you can be a priest and you can be a warrior, that just automatically means you can be a pally. Because that's all that a paladin is. It's a light wielding warrior. Ruger, thank you for keeping the immersion of the game and not playing annoying music when the WoW music is the best. No problem, man. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Yeah, I've never played any music that was not like WoW music. Sometimes I would go into Leatrix Plus and I'll play like specific WoW music if we're doing like a bunch of dungeon runs. But typically I just let the music roll. Actually today, now that you mentioned, the music is a little quiet. I'm gonna see if I can crank it up a little bit. Maybe it's just really quiet here. Yeah, 60. Let's see. That's a little better. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Goblins can be shaman. Yeah, there you go. I guess the problem with giving more races shaman and druid is that then the artists have to make druid forms, and then they have to make a bunch of variations. I'm just not finding this quest today. This must be my mage quest. I have no idea where this is. You have to make totems. You have to make shapeshift forms. So that's why they'll never do it. They have to, it's too much work. It says it's like right here. Maybe it's in the mid-level. I don't know. Could be in the mid-level of the building. Now it says it's up. This is why I level slower in the Cataclysm Beta than any other version of the game. Like, I could level like twice as fast in Vanilla Era. Because I know where stuff is at. Oh, here we go. I found it. Oh my gosh. That was much more painful than it had to be.
Elune Adore. Good luck, friend. Farewell.
We're immediately getting another quest. This one, oh, it's an Arcane Missiles quest. We are the heirs to a legacy of arcane magic, and your path will not be an easy one. Many still hold us responsible for the actions of our forebears, but our talents are needed. I want to show you a new spell, Arcane Missiles. It allows you to fire volleys of arcane energy, but you won't be able to cast it all the time. Casting other spells has a chance to create an opportunity for you to use Arcane Missiles. What? Did they, like, fundamentally change how Arcane Missiles works?
Be careful.
Okay, so I guess we have to train it. Okay, let's see.
May the stars guide you.
No, it says we can. No, shoot, we can't use it. We can't cast that unless it procs. Oh my god. How am I supposed to practice it? Do I have to crit with another spell? What in the world? What is this about? I don't really know how I feel about this. So I'm assuming they introduced like Arcane Blast or whatever it's called, like the core arcane like ability that's a cast timer. I guess I wait for a crit. Any spell can proc it. That procced it, so like what is the chance to proc? What is the chance to proc it? Each offensive spell you cast has a 40% chance to activate Arcane Missiles. It's just a 40% chance. Okay. So that's okay. It's a weird choice. Yeah, and the weird thing is, I guess like then it procs, but you're in the middle of another cast. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go fireball the fireball. Okay, I see that it procs. Now I hit it, but I can't hit it right when it procs because if I do that, then I'm stopping my cast, which is horribly inefficient. So you're never gonna get it as soon as it procs. That's a little bit weird. Maybe if it were like, I don't know, like if it were off global cooldown, and then you could stop your cast by casting it. Like, see, it procced there, but like I'm not gonna stop and wait and see if it procced. Oh, it can proc itself. Oh, okay. No mana cost. Oh wow. That might be fun. It might be fun. Asmodin, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Again, I did not go the right way. These are not the trainers we're looking for. Did they do a revamp on the arcane tree so that it's not awful anymore? I bet wand specialization's not there anymore.
I am honored.
We should probably equip the bag that we have. And the gloves.
Be careful.
More missiles, more damage. That's my motto. Yeah, I live by that. More missiles, more damage.
I am listening. Asha Fela. Be careful. Ishnu Dal
She immediately has another quest for us.
Asha
Priestess of the Moon. Now that you're practiced with your new ability, perhaps you'd be willing to aid us further in further pursuing the corruption haunting Shadow Glen. Dentalaria Silverglade, Priestess of the Moon, has offered to aid us. You should find her between the two pools north of our great tree. Circle around the tree to reach her. Okay, we have quest tracking. You don't need to say that last part.
Farewell. What brings you here? Good luck, friend.
Yes, I did get the mouse problems fixed. I had to completely redo my audio settings from the ground up using a bunch of settings that I'm not familiar with. And because of that, to me, my audio still sounds like not great. But every time I ask you guys, you tell me that everything sounds fine, so yeah, but yeah, in all of that, I did eventually get my mouse working again, so that was a big relief. It's just that my audio settings will never be the same again. And that's been kind of rough. The music still seems like it's really quiet. I'm gonna try to bump it up a little bit more in OBS. Because yeah, on my end it looks super quiet. Oh look, it's Iveron! Like, the dude finally made it back. He finally made it back. I bet he's still messed up though, isn't he? Our friend Iveron has fallen to poison from the nearby webwood spiders. Why did they go through the bother of moving him, but they didn't like change his quest at all? It's basically he still got poisoned. Dude, and she doesn't even say that he got poisoned again. I would forgive it if she just said our dear friend has been poisoned once again. But she doesn't even say that. Oh, it's so weird. Like, I find it a weird study of like which quests they actually changed, which quests they simply reworded, and which quests they just moved around, but it's somehow still the same quest. Because, you know, it's a big world vamp, but in a lot of cases, it wasn't really a big revamp. Not in the questing. Not in a lot of the questing. Alright, so yeah, he's still poisoned. We still have to gather the things. Like, they put 7 of them like around this one little lake. You can find like almost all of them right here. That's a hard nerf on the Green Hills of Stranglethorn quest. He only wants 1 page. That's a really hard nerf. Oh no. You know what I just realized? You know, and now I'm never gonna be able to unsee it. What do you guys think I just realized? I'll try to ignore it. Nope, I'm gonna be staring at it the entire time. Her hair doesn't move in any way. You know how like when you have a dwarf that's got like the ponytail braids and you're running and the braids are like sashaying back and forth and back and forth? Like, her hair doesn't move.
Goddess bless you. Illume my
Which I kind of expected it to. When I went with this hairstyle, it was kind of with the anticipation that the hair was going to move. But that is not happening.
May the stars guide
I must ask something more dangerous of you. Strange news has traveled to me through the whisperings of the forest spirits. The mysterious woodland protector Tarandrella has returned to Shadowglen again. She's returned again. You don't have to return again. Even if you've returned before, you can simply say that she has returned. You don't have to say she's returned again. It's fine. The Dryad's presence has not been felt in the forest since before the blessing of Teldrassil, but then goes on to contradict herself. She says she's returned again, but then, which implies she's returned recently. You know, back in vanilla. But then she goes on to say that her presence hasn't been felt in the forest since before the blessing of Teldrassil, something that we know is not true. Oh man. It's almost like some of these quests, they kind of like, they chop the text together, but then like nobody did any editing. Nobody went back and read it. That's so weird.
Goddess watch over.
She has returned again, and yet has not been here at all for a long time. Okay. Here's the real question. Does the hair move when I cast? It doesn't. Oh no. It doesn't even move when I cast. Maybe it just isn't. Maybe it will eventually. Maybe the hair is like, it's broken. Maybe I should report a bug. Maybe I should report it as a bug. My hair does not move when I run and cast. It's gotta be a bug. No, that's not what it is. It's gotta be a bug. What do you call these? Are they pigtails? There we go. It's gotta be a bug. If you play beta, will the character get deleted once Cata servers are up? Yeah. Like your beta characters are not going to carry over into Cata launch. So it's like Vegas. Everything you do in the beta stays in the beta. You'll have to re-roll, you know. Once the Cata pre-patch goes live, would probably be the time to start leveling up your actual character, unless you already have one maxed out. Okay, so are we going in the cave? Yeah, she's in the cave. She's not in the cave. Well, she is in the cave. She just appeared out of nowhere. Where did she come from? Oh my god, she's wrecking.
Hi.
Hi.
Is there trouble?
I'd hoped to never return to Teldrassil for such grim business. I'd hoped that its corruption had been wiped away completely. Something foul lingers. These spiders suffer much more deeply from the corruption than the other nearby wildlife. They are becoming a danger to your people and a danger to the forest. We must thin their numbers, but more importantly, we need to find the source of the corruption that plagues them. I will come with you and aid you in this. Okay, so she's gonna help us. I'm kind of assuming that after we kill the 12 that she's going to have a follow-up quest to kill the name spider. I could be wrong, but we'll fight our way towards where the name spider is typically at. See, now that was a waste of an Arcane Missiles proc. I should have held on to that for the next enemy. Oh no, I seem to have lost my Dryad. Yeah, I jumped down here. I thought she would, maybe she will. Maybe she'll run around eventually and catch up. If she doesn't, then... Oh, there she is. Look at that. It just took her a minute. She's galloping in a weird manner.
The great outdoors. What is nature's call?
If these spiders were born with corruption in their veins, then their broodmother must be the root of the evil. Let us make our way to the far north of the cave and seek out, get this, the vial.
Is there trouble? What is nature's call?
Get this, and her brood are being corrupted by this totem. This is a Furbolg totem. This is very troubling indeed. This means the Gnarlpine are still a danger to these forests. We let our guard down too soon. So yeah, see how it's kind of like, it's not really changing stories, it's just kind of like making up a new context for the existing circumstances. It's like the spiders were always here, now they're slightly recontextualized. The Gnarlpine were always there, but now they're slightly recontextualized.
Ah, the great outdoors.
This place doesn't seem like to lean too heavy into the Cataclysm just happened, oh my gosh, all this stuff is happening because the Cataclysm just happened. This just feels like a zone where a little bit of time has passed. Like, nothing yet has really, like, said anything about the Cataclysm or hinted at the Cataclysm. We haven't had, like, earthquakes. And, like, that's nice. I think, like, more of the zone should have been redone like that. Oh, she teleported us out. That was cool. And a little bit unexpected. Yeah, like, more of the zone should have been like this, where, like, make it just seem like a little bit of time has passed, but don't necessarily, like, make everything about how the Cataclysm just happened. That's a lot of what made, like, the Cata zones feel not so good after a long time. After a few years of, like, leveling up characters in them, a lot of them are still stuck at the moment of the Cataclysm. It just started to feel really weird. And then, of course, the whole bit where technically when you hit 60, you go do Burning Crusade, and, like, chronologically, you're, like, going back in time. And that's also very weird. I kind of wish that when they did the Cataclysm, they should have just let you level all the way to max level in the old world. They should have rescaled some of the zones, up the experience in some of the zones, and then just made it so that you didn't have to go to Outland or Northrend if you didn't want to. Since technically that's like going back in time. And feels really strange as you're like leveling a character through. Alright, we need to go to the Moonwell. I wish they'd have considered doing that for Cataclysm Classic, like making there be a way that the zones can be level ranged in a way that we can just level a character all the way to 80, staying in the old world. You don't have to go to Outland, you don't have to do Wrath of the Lich King content. Like, just let me stay in the old world. Unfortunately, like, the only way that happens easily is with level scaling, and I hate level scaling. Otherwise, they'd have to rework, like, the actual level of the zones, the enemies in the zones, and stuff like that. Probably be a little bit of work.
Go in peace, a sharp life.
Teneron Stormgrip oversees all that happens in this glade. He presides at the top of Eldrasil. If you look to your south, you will see the underside of the ramp. Yep. It was wonderful to have met you. I swell with pride knowing that among young night elves there are some so selfless and full of life as you are. You will do great things for your people. You will do great things for this world. Until we meet again.
Goddess,
and then we never met again. How did I find out that I got into the beta? I clicked on the drop down in BattleNet, and the Cataclysm client was listed. Yeah, I didn't get an email. Some people said they got emails. I haven't gotten an email for a beta invite since, like, Legion. But I've been in several betas. Like, usually I find out just by checking my BattleNet. And then there it is. But then, to be fair, like, even if they were sending me emails, I'm in BattleNet clicking around more often than I'm in my email, so...
I am honored. Go in peace. May the stars guide you.
While there is more I could speak to you of the Moonwells of Teldrassil, I must send you along. Korithis Moonrage will be expecting you. I have poured the vial of water you brought me into this vessel to bring to him. Seek out Korithis. You will find him at the Moonwell in Dalinar. This is all the same.
Good luck.
I don't... Oh, we got some kind of, like, slow fall. The Wind's Embrace. That's so you can jump off of here and not, like, bite it. So that's nice. That was not exactly what I wanted to do.
I am listening. Then Naga.
This map looks pretty much the same. I don't see anything like very like visually different about the map. All the areas are pretty familiar. So yeah, maybe they just had minimal changes here. I guess you could say like because of the location of the tree, like maybe Deathwing like couldn't do anything here. Maybe he couldn't do any damage here. Maybe that's why. Well, yeah, our buddy Zen would have a quest for us, but right now he's busy being a frog. So we are gonna have to wait here for a second until he unfrogs. There we go. Monica, good evening, good afternoon, welcome to the stream. He unfrogged and now he's staring at this tree. And he doesn't have a quest. Okay, buddy. We'll give him a good poke, I'm sure that'll help. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him. He had a quest and then somebody turned him into a frog and now he's just kind of broken. I guess we'll have to... Oh, there we go. Perfect. This is the same quest, except maybe he needs less items. 2 fangs, 2 owl feathers, 2 webwood spider silk. I can't really remember if maybe they just reduced the amount that we need. Did I get an email from Blizzard for the Cataclysm Classic Beta? No, I didn't get an email. I just checked my dropdown, but other people have told me that they do get an email, so I'm not sure if everybody gets an email. Maybe my email caught it and tossed it in the bin. I don't know. I didn't get an email. I was checking my dropdown every morning to see if I've gotten in. And yeah, even if they had sent me an email, I would have saw it in the drop down first, because I was checking that more often than I was checking my email. we're kind of getting our butt kicked by some of these guys. If I let them get close, they can do quite a bit of damage. Can anyone play in the beta? I mean, it's like random invites, so you sign up for the beta. You have to sign up for it, and then they select people to be in the beta. And eventually they'll probably like let everybody be in, but yeah, it's you gotta go to their webpage and sign up for it first. Otherwise, they're never gonna invite you. You get dual spec at level 30 for 10 gold. Oh wow, that's huge. That's really great. They send out invites every week. You know, you just gotta sign up and then you gotta wait. It seems like every week they send out a big wave of invites. And you know, we got like 3 months, 4 months. We got a while before we're talking about a full release, so we'll be in beta for a while. You can already tell without reading a title that's Cata when you don't have to drink water. Yeah, I mean, it was already like that in Wrath, though. To be fair, like, even in Wrath of the Lich King era, like, you didn't have mana problems. If you level as fire, okay, sure. If you purposely go out of your way to have mana problems, then you'll have mana problems. There you go. Yep. If you try to burn all of your mana, you will succeed, I guess. Yeah, for me, like, you know, I love Classic Era, but for me, having to sit on the mage, like, so often, that didn't do anything for my, like, immersion in the game. I don't miss having to sit every 2 or 3 pulls, because that was just kind of like an era of the game when I didn't really get to enjoy the mage leveling, because I don't really enjoy sitting and drinking every 2 to 3 pulls. That's why I would gravitate towards like auto attack classes or the warrior or the rogue, because like I don't like sitting and drinking, so like I don't miss it. I'm not gonna miss it, and I'm not gonna believe that it like adds a lot of immersion or like depth to the character or difficulties to the game or anything. It's just an enforced break. It's just an enforced break. I can't believe that it added like much to the experience of leveling a mage. It's not like the game has any like survival elements, you know, anyway, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of having to stop and eat and stop and drink. So like, I wasn't upset when those things like slowly left the game. What's the XP change? So far, I have not noticed any XP change. It really feels like we're leveling like almost the speed of vanilla era. We're definitely not leveling in the beta at the speed that you do with Joyous Journey. So like I don't know what they've got going on with the XP gains. They said that overall, like for launch, that it's going to be faster. It was one of the bullet points at BlizzCon, like faster leveling. Because, you know, everybody who plays Classic wants faster leveling, obviously. But yeah, in the beta so far, it feels slow. It takes me about 2.5 to 3 hours to hit level 10, which is pretty on par for like a vanilla era. I don't think they've got the XP dialed in where they even close to where they want it. I think that's all very much still a work in progress. I burned out on my sod mage for the same reason. Yeah, I got a sod mage to like 19, and I burned out it for the same reason, for having to like constantly sit and drink. It just burned me out. It was not fun. It was like a bad experience. I didn't want to keep doing it. Yep. We need to find spiders. Yeah, I need one more silk, and that's really all that I'm looking for. I don't have to be killing every single thing in the zone. There we go. That's good. Yeah, I didn't particularly feel like Cataclysm needed faster leveling either, especially because a lot of people have heirlooms. And if you have heirlooms, which I don't, but if you have heirlooms, like, that's already, like, really fast. But the problem is, you know, they've had Joyous Journeys in Wrath of the Lich King for so long now, and I think people that are, like, playing that game, like, they're used to leveling at that speed. So if you were to move to, like, a Cataclysm era where leveling felt slower than Joyous Journeys, that would be a really bad experience for those people. You know, for anybody who's been playing Wrath at all, like, this last year, like, well, maybe not quite a year, but you've had Joyous Journeys for a very long time. And so, yeah, like, you can't walk that back after so long and say, like, okay, Kata's out, now you level more slowly. Like, you can't do that, you know, so... The nail is already in the coffin for, like, some kind of faster leveling, because you can't walk it back after, like, that kind of leveling's been in the game for so long, and you chose to leave it in and not have it be, like, a limited time event anymore. They chose just to leave it in the game. Collect 3 falcons. This is the same quest, you know, we helped Zen, like, nothing has changed here with the Cataclysm. We're still helping Zen. They're still outraged that we're so stupid.
Go in peace.
We're still gonna go turn him into a frog. I don't think any of these quests have changed. Let's see. Emerald Dreamcatcher. That hasn't changed. Retrieve the Emerald Dreamcatcher. Okay. Was there a quest up here? I don't think so. They should have revamped Azeroth more slowly. Yeah, maybe, like... It's weird, like, when I think back about the Cataclysm, in my mind it was this big revamp, but then when I'm actually playing the content, I'm like, you know, it wasn't that big of a revamp. There are a handful of zones that have significant physical changes.
How may I help?
But even the zones that have significant physical changes, like the Barrens, they're using a lot of the same quests.
Goodbye.
So, like, 60% of the quests are exactly the same. Another 20% of the quests are, like, the same quest, but either the NPC is moved, maybe a little bit of the dialogue is recontextualized, and then only, like, 10% of the quests are actually brand new quests that have like never been in the game before. Like maybe less than 10% of the quests are like brand new, have never been in the game before this point. A lot of it is just moving NPCs around, a little bit of rewriting to add some different context to some of the familiar quests, but largely just simply using the same exact quest, and then maybe sometimes moving the NPC or quest giver.
Till next we meet.
But yeah, in my mind it was this huge revamp, but it's really not. It's really not.
May the stars guide
We should probably set the Hearthstone here. Let's do that.
this joy. I am listening. May the stars guide you.
And then the unfortunate thing is the zones that were changed the most are the ones that were the most affected by Deathwing. And so then those zones, even though they have some of the newer content, they all live in the moment of Deathwing just attacked just now. Like a zone like this works a lot better because there is no like big event that happened just now that everything is focusing on. But yeah, the ones that got the big changes, those are the ones that got stuck in like a really weird spot. This is all the same. We gotta go to the Moonwells. That hasn't changed at all. I don't think any of these quests out here are gonna be different than what we've seen before. Yeah, they all seem the same.
I am listening.
Cooking trainer
May the
has
stars guide
bring
you.
the Dalinar recipe book. I don't remember this one. A friend of mine is training to be a priestess of the moon in Darnassus. She left Dalinar to study in the temple last year. Her letters say she's doing well and learning much. Maybe this is just the breadcrumb to the city. Maybe I just never paid attention. Okay. All right. Let's check our class trainer. We're level 6. You know, maybe we have another spell to learn. Is Westfall a CSI episode in Cata? Yes, Jason. That's when they did that. And then Red Ridge is a Rambo movie, and that's why I don't like those zones. So yeah, I did like the Indiana Jones bit in Uldum when it came out. Like Indiana Jones being like some of my favorite movies of all time. Possibly my favorite movies of all time is the original 3 movies. So like, even though, you know, it's I don't like parodies usually, I don't like spoofs, but I guess I saw it more as like paying homage to, whereas I see the Rambo thing as just kind of like a spoof. I saw the Indiana Jones stuff was more like paying homage to that character, and so I did enjoy that. And I think you met Harrison Jones for the first time as a blood elf in like the Ghostlands. He's been in the game for a while before Uldum. Like he's made other appearances. I can't remember exactly where. So yeah. Richard, do you still need class trainers in Cata? Yes, you do need class trainers in Cata. Yeah. You don't need weapon trainers in Cata. Like you don't have to train in any of your weapon skills, but you certainly have to train your abilities. Fire blast. Let's go there. Okay, so let's look for some fell cones and then we'll head out this way. Have I ever watched the show Lost? Unfortunately, I did spend some time watching Lost back in the day. Yeah, like the first 2 seasons. I was gonna say I don't remember much of it, but then when I think about it, that I don't think the show had any real like memorable content anyway. So like I don't think there's no way I would remember any of it. That was a show that started off interesting, but then like it quickly became apparent, like all the flaws with writing for a television show across multiple seasons became apparent. Like the writers never knew if they were going to have another season, so like none of the stories ever culminated into anything meaningful. all of the stories were just like random things happening randomly, seemingly at random. And that's when I kind of started to realize that like TV shows were just inherently bad at telling stories because of how there's no guarantee of how long a TV show is going to last. Whereas like oftentimes when an author sets out to write a series of books, they have a general idea of like how many books they're going to write in the series, and things like that can be like determined ahead of time. And the whole story can actually be mapped out. Like with a TV show, like they just don't know. You can get canceled tomorrow, or you can go for 12 seasons. So the stories you tell are like often disjointed and weird. Alright, let's go turn Zen into a frog before we do anything else. Maybe we'll get playable Naga sometime in the World Soul Saga. I have a feeling we'll get playable Naga eventually, especially because Azara is like certainly going to be a part of the story at some point in the World Soul Saga, and I have a feeling she's going to be like back on our side, or on our side for the first time. I don't know, but yeah. And then I feel like that's when we get playable Naga. So I do think it'll happen. 4 to 6 more years.
Don't touch me.
Like, why we're getting the Earthen in the War Within, like, I don't know. Did anybody ask for the Earthen? When they revealed the Earthen as a playable race for War Within, was anybody like, oh man, at last, finally, I get to play as an Earthen? I don't think there's a single person that felt that way. I don't think anybody felt that. Like, I didn't even really know or care about the Earthen. So it was just kind of like, that was kind of a weird choice to me. Even though obviously it's because it makes sense with whatever the story is. But it just seems like something that maybe people would not be excited about beforehand. Yeah, she'll be back for sure. Yeah, she had the typical exit from the story. She got like pulled into a void hole. Like she's out there somewhere. Like yeah, when they write characters off like that, like they'll definitely be back. Absolutely. Oh, the music got different here. That's interesting. I feel like if you did a fire build in Cataclysm, you could definitely run yourself out of mana, by the way. It's just that, you know, we were level 2 before. Like, if you were just casting fire spells all the time and that was what you were doing, you could probably run out of mana. Now, I think next time we see Azara, she'll be on our side. And there might, like, maybe she'll be like a triple agent, I don't know. They'll probably have some kind of duplicity in the story, but I feel like ultimately the next time we see her, she'll be on our side. I don't think she's gonna be too happy about how she's been treated up until this point by her, like, Void Lord overlords. Two pyros and an arcane missile usually kill any mob. Yeah, that seems like a lot. I'm hovering around half my mana. We'll see if I can like burn through it, because it's obviously like fireball and fire blast that are eating the mana. But it's not like you're coasting through at like full mana at all times, you know. Not after like, you know, level 5. Yeah, if I just wanted to cast more fire spells, then I can definitely go out of mana. Am I getting an item? Yeah, I'm getting an item out of the dresser. Are we getting Cataclysm before summer? Yeah, like we'll probably get pre-patch at the end of the spring. I'm pretty sure that's how it's on the roadmap. They have a roadmap where they kind of like give you a general idea of the expected release window. And I'm pretty sure we'll get the pre-patch by the end of spring. And then sometime in the summer we'll get full launch, where the 80 to 85 content will become available. Relics of Awakening. This is the exact same quest. Oh man, they didn't even change this quest. We still gotta go through the Barrow Den and we gotta find all those items. You get an 8-slot bag for it though. Like, they didn't want to rework the quest at all, so they're like, okay, leave the quest, but we'll make it a better reward. Oh man, I'm not looking. I was hoping they changed that one. I'm not looking forward to that one. Kill 20 Gnarlpine Furbolgs. This lady used to be on the road. And Gnarlpine aggression is limiting our options. None of our kind are eager to bring blade and arrow against the creatures that were once our friends, but I grow fearful they are going to set their sights on Dalinar soon. The biggest concern are the Furbolgs of the Banethel Hollow and Banethel Barrow Dens. I need you to travel west. Make your way into the Barrow Den. Kill. Maybe this is a little bit different. They might have reworded this one and moved her.
Goddess, watch over you.
Some huntresses have already made their way to the Barrow Den. They will find you when you get inside. Oh, are we gonna have like little NPC friends? She said something about a ride as well. So maybe they changed this one a little bit. The background music is kind of too loud. I've been streaming like all day with the same settings. It might be you, but I'll take second opinions. But yeah, I've been streaming not only just this stream, but earlier this morning playing Plunderstorm with the same settings, and no one has said anything. Usually my people are pretty good about telling me when my sound settings are messed up, especially because I had like catastrophic sound setting failure the other day. And I can see the levels in OBS, so it might just be you, man. It'll also depend on like what kind of device you're listening on.
Farewell.
Like, if anything, I would say that sometimes I'm too loud, if anything. Looking at my sound levels.
What brings you here?
I'm glad you were willing to atone for your mistake. Okay. I don't know if this is new. Kill 12 Grelkin.
May the stars guide you.
Greeting. Good luck, friend. Go in peace.
We have to go after Ferocetus the Dream Eater. This is the same quest. Kill 7 Gnarlpie Mystics. Find the missing jewel. Okay, yeah. That hasn't changed. Twisted Hatred. The Head of Lord Melanus. This one hasn't changed.
Good luck.
So yeah, a lot of this stuff is the same. Alright, I think the first thing we'll do, maybe we'll go out to the east and we'll get the necklace. And we'll do that stuff, and then we'll head out to the west. Is it a private server? It is what it says in the title of the stream. And it doesn't say private server, so... Colonel Boomer, Kata was the first expansion that you had a max level ready to go into the new content on launch. That's awesome. That is a cool memory. The only thing I really remember about Cataclysm launch was the first time that I, instead of staying up, because it was always like a midnight release type of thing, like it would open up really late in the evenings. Instead of staying up and playing all night, it was the first time that I went to bed like really early, and then I woke up at 4 in the morning, and then as my guild mates were all like dead tired and dragging themselves off to sleep, like I then played all day. And then they all overslept, like, well into the afternoon and evening because of how late they'd stayed up. And then I did that for every launch after that. I would just go to bed super early, and I would wake up super early. And then, like, when you're getting on at 4 in the morning, when everyone else is going to bed, like, the areas are opened up, people have spread out a little bit more, you have more objectives available to you. It was always a really good choice. These days, I feel like they do launches earlier. They do launches at like 6 p.m. my time. So it's like, when there's a 6 p.m. launch, like, that's fine. When it's a midnight launch, like, I'd rather go to bed. Let's see. I didn't click on the necklace. That's why it's still tracking it. Let's actually open it. Isn't that what I have to do? Don't I have to open the necklace? Maybe I'm thinking about a different quest. I don't know. Apparently I'm not as familiar with these quests as I thought I was. Okay. Oh, it's tracking the kills still. It's not tracking, even though the quest tracking here, it shows the necklace. It's not really tracking the necklace, it's really tracking the number of kills we have as incomplete. That's, I don't know if that's buggy or just like kind of messed up quest tracking. You would think it would also show the kills over here too. I don't know. Let's kill the rest of the... We'll kill the rest of the shaman, and then we'll see if it shows quest complete or that we still need the necklace. Oh, you know what's really weird? Not having Arcane Intellect or Frost Armor. I wonder, why did they do that? Did they take away, like, a lot of buffs? In Cata, was that when they got rid of a lot of the buffs? Because, yeah, I don't even see Arcane Intellect. What? Arcane Brilliance. At level 58. Huh. Molten Armor at 34. It's at 58. Oh my god, that's such a big change. I noticed that the same thing on the warrior, like we didn't get like our shout until we were like level 20. And not having battle shout for so long, it felt so weird. So they didn't get rid of the buffs, but they moved them to such a later level. I wonder what the design philosophy was behind that change. Why not give somebody their class buffs really early, make sure that they're familiar with those buffs, that they get into the habit of putting those buffs up on themselves and others? Like, why would you wait to level 58 to give the arcane buff? So weird. Oh man. Camping King, thank you so much for the membership, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. Alright, now that I've got all the kills I need, now it's tracking the quest properly, now we can move on. Maybe they thought having no buffs early would help balance the classes out. Maybe, yeah, but then they gave them out later though. Still, no conjuring food or water until level 30. I mean, in a way, I guess they probably knew that it wasn't as necessary as it was in the past. What about portals? Do you still get portals at 20? Not portals, teleports. I don't see teleports either, but maybe... Oh, no, I don't see... I don't know if they're not in the spellbook, I don't know where they would be. Do we just not get teleports anymore as a mage? Or portals? Is that a real thing? That's so weird. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Yeah, I would think that you would train them at the portal trainer, but then would they go? Where would they go? Like once they were in the spellbook, wouldn't they just go to the arcane spells? Because yeah, I thought that too, but then like they would end up in the same place though. They should all end up in the spellbook. You do get, yeah, that's so weird. Are they just going to pop into the spellbook even though there's not a place for them? Or am I going to be accessing those teleports from a different interface that's not my spellbook? That's really, really weird. Camping King, who's still playing SOD? I don't think a lot of people are playing SOD. I feel like in the world, a lot of people are playing SOD. Like in our guild and in the community here, like I think a lot of people are on a SOD break.
Peace be with you.
Maybe that's not true.
Denadris. Greetings. May the stars guide you.
Season 2 was a flop. Yeah. Season 2 just might have revealed like a lot of the flaws of the design they've gone with. I saw an interview where they kind of acknowledge again that the thing that makes Classic feel like Classic is the leveling journey. And so doing things like speeding up the leveling journey, stopping the leveling journey arbitrarily, in trying to have people just play a bunch of alts, like that didn't really like scratch a Classic itch for a lot of people. And so yeah, I think that like the short level bans that stop you from progressing, coupled with the experience bonuses, it just makes it seem like you're just grinding up tunes in retail without any of the benefits of grinding up a bunch of tunes in retail, which is mainly that when you want to level a tune in retail, you can level it 1 to max. You don't have to stop arbitrarily for weeks or months at a time. And they said that they would probably do things very differently if they ever have the chance to again. That was the most depressing thing that I read like in a long time. Where like the way the interview kind of concludes, he's just kind of like, yeah, we would do things a lot differently if we have the chance again sometime. It's almost like there aren't like plans for a new season like soon after the season ends. It feels almost like we're going to be in a Season of Mastery scenario where like the Season of Mastery ended and it was 2 years before we heard about Sod. It feels like that's gonna happen again because it wasn't like he wasn't like next season we'll do it different, you know what I mean? If they had already confirmed another season and we're planning out another season, dude would just say in the next season we'll do it differently. But he was like, we'll do it different if we ever get the chance again. Very, very sad to hear that phrased in that way. Yeah, if it's a one-shot deal, it's bad. as an experiment that could lead to future seasons, you know, it's okay. If it's a standalone one-off thing that they don't ever get to do again, then it was kind of a big waste. Because then you don't get to use any of those learnings, like any of the things you learned, you don't get to take that forward. If there's just no other season. So, and also like you gotta stop calling shit a season if you're not gonna have multiple seasons that run consecutively. You can't call it a season, okay? You have to call it a limited time event. You have to call it exactly what it is. It's not a season if you go 2 years between seasons. That's not how seasons work. That's not how seasons work in real life. That's not how seasons work in video games that have seasons. That's not how seasons work in their own games that have seasons. And so if you're gonna do these like one-off, every few years we do something cool, you have to stop calling it seasons. Because calling it seasons, that's mismarketing, and it's like, it's misleading. It's very misleading to call it a season. So I hope if we have to go 2 or 3 more years before they do another experiment, they had better not call it another season. It's not what seasons are. It's a limited time event, just like Plunderstorm. It's not a season. It's a limited time event. Eventually, it'll go away, and nothing comes of it. Oh my dear god, I do have to use an item for this quest. Are you kidding me? I can't just kill 12 of them? I have to kill 12 of them with an item? Oh my god. Hey, at least we've been getting kill XP, I guess. I can kill Melanus, right, without the item? I hope so. If they were planning to make it, yeah, you think they want to make it a yearly event? Which one, the Plunderstorm? The Plunderstorm or the season? The season's gonna go on longer than a year. Well, I mean, lots of games have seasons. Yeah, they like Diablo has seasons, Path of Exile has seasons, like lots and lots and lots of games have seasons. And usually, like, between seasons, there's a couple months of a break, from what I understand. Usually there's like 2 or 3 months off between seasons. And that's how, like, games typically do it. And so when you have multiple years pass between seasons, that's when I don't think you should be allowed to call it a season. Yeah, this season's gonna go on for longer than a year, I think. Like, if you look at the roadmap and you look at where they have like level 60 new content, like, this season feels like it's gonna be like just over a year. And then who knows how long the servers will kind of sit in their end phase, you know, like when they're done putting out content, when does the season end? Like, let's say they put out their last bit of content. They're not planning anymore. How long does the season go on? Like, after that happens? Because then we could be talking about a 2-year season. We could be talking about a 1.5-year season. It's hard to say. But looking at the roadmap, it'll already be at least a year that we have and if they were planning another season, like, right after SOD, like, dude wouldn't have been, like, so sad in the interview and be like, if we ever get to do it again. That is not the speaking of a dev who has been confirmed for, like, more seasons. That's a dev who, like, has been given, like, indicators that he might not get to do this again. When you say something like, if we ever get to do it again, that's trying to, like, set expectations, like, pretty firmly in the realm of maybe not gonna happen for a long time. Which is sad, because, like I said, as an experiment that's going to lead to future seasons, SOD was good. SOD was worth it. As a thing that happens once, and then maybe we go years and years without another season, it's not, like, that's not good. You got to take your learnings and you got to carry them forward, and you got to keep momentum. Like, when you're trying to do something new and innovative, like, you got to learn, but you got to keep your momentum going. You can't just be like, okay, we got a bunch of data, we learned a bunch of stuff, we took a bunch of player feedback, in 3 or 4 years we'll try again. This is a named guy. That did not do anything. That we have to kill this guy. Maybe he'll drop a green. We're getting shadow bolted into the back. That's awesome. And here is where we have our first death. Unless he runs. Unless he runs away. That being said, we don't really have any way to heal ourselves. So, yeah. Okay. I'm still just killing half of them with my abilities, instead of being smart and using the item. And now I have to find my way out of here, which apparently is going to be harder than you might think. Okay, I think this is the way. Yeah, we can get out this way. I'm pretty sure we can get out this way. That was a decent time to level up. Nice. I appreciate that. I didn't notice. That's awesome.
Peace be with you. Asha Selah.
Ishnu Allah Del Nadris. Good luck, friend.
Yeah, I think the boost, the 100% boost could be okay. What I think is that having the boost coupled with not being able to level past 40 is kind of bad. Like, yeah, like if I had the boost and if I could level, there's a couple things that make it bad. Okay, firstly, rune acquisition is always going to ruin leveling in SOD for me. Rune acquisition does not feel classic. Rune acquisition does not feel fun. Rune acquisition is not interesting. Rune acquisition is not fun gameplay. There is nothing good about rune acquisition. Unless you are one of the small numbers of people who are the ones discovering them first, the people who are writing the guides, the people who are posting the locations. Like, unless you are one of those people that are just like on the cutting edge of exploring every single ounce of data and every single inch of the world, rune acquisition is not fun. And so, like, the leveling experience could be great in SOD if, like, firstly, we got all of our low-level runes, like, trained at the trainer. Anything outside of the current tier, you train it at the trainer. Secondly, though, like, let's get rid of tiers entirely. Like, let's stop stopping my progress. Let me level up to 60, please. Even if your level 50 content's not done, even if your level 60 content's not done, just let me level my character up. And then I'll play the content when it's out. You know, when you're done with the raid, I'll check out the raid. When you're done with the battleground, maybe I'll check out the battleground. But don't stop my progress. Let me level my character up. And yeah, so like, and then in that scenario where rune acquisition is not awful, and where you're not stopping someone's progress, then yeah, the 100% buff can be fine. Because you're still going to have like an 80-hour journey, possibly even more than that, depending on if you're working on professions, if you're doing fishing, you're doing cooking. Even with 100% bonus in Classic Era, you could still be looking at 100 hours of gameplay to get to 60. So yeah, it could still be a good journey, but because of runes and because of the level cap, it's not. That's my biggest problems. Those are all my problems with SOD. It's not, yeah, because the bonus XP on its own could be fine. Yeah, you only bother with a few of them. Yeah, that's my whole problem with him, is that's the mentality, is like, I'm gonna bother with the ones that I need to have. But yeah, like going out and finding them is not going to be enjoyable. It just requires a visit to Wowhead to look it up and see what I have to do, and then it requires time to move my character around the map. None of the stories were like super interesting. None of them really felt organic, like, or natural. It was always like going to Wowhead and seeing what Wowhead wanted me to do. Let's see. I don't know if maybe they changed this area a little bit. I'm trying to get us, I think, into the Gnarlpine Den, but I'm having a hard time finding the actual entrance. Maybe if I follow this pathway, it'll lead somewhere. Yeah, in the interview, they did talk about how, like, having the focus be on alts was probably the mistake, and like that focus on alts comes from not just the XP bonus, but also from capping people at 25 and then capping them again at 40 and then capping them again at 50. People will play alts, like people will definitely play alts. If you're a person that likes to play alts, you will play alts. You're not going to hesitate to roll up another character. But like being stopped at level 25, at level 40, at level 50, like that's not, it's just, it didn't turn out to be very enjoyable, especially considering the amount of content available. You know, it's not like there was a bunch of content to do at the level caps. Unless you're someone that wants to farm a low level raid week after week after week after week, or build up all of your rep at the battleground, then like there wasn't a lot for you to do. There was this guy up here, he had a name, I don't seem to need him right now. And furthermore, he did not get me any closer to discovering how I am going to get into these places. So yeah, fun times. I have no idea how to get into the Barrow Den apparently. Having dual spec would make getting all the runes more enjoyable. See, for me, if I had dual spec, that would require me to get more runes. In my position, it's kind of nice having the out of saying, okay, I'm only ever going to DPS, so I only ever need these 3 runes. If I had dual spec, unfortunately, then I'd feel almost compelled. Don't get me wrong, dual spec should be in the game. But with dual spec, then I feel compelled to get another set of runes for another spec. And like, I already hate getting runes like so much, I can't imagine like feeling compelled to build out another spec. That'd be rough. Yeah, people like to parse. People like to see their big numbers. You just get so juicy over your big numbers. Yeah, a lot of people don't give a shit about that kind of thing though. That's what I said, like, if you are someone who wants to log in every single week and do the same content over and over again, at a low level, like, if you can care about that, then yeah, then there's stuff for you to do. You can get on with your guild, you can raid every week, you can raid every 3 days or whatever the lockout is, and you can get your big numbers and your colorful parses or whatever it is that you're into. But if you're just a player who likes Classic and wants to play the game, like, you don't want to farm a bunch of repeatable content. There, you know, once you're at a level cap, you just step away for a bit. Whereas if your level weren't capped, you would probably keep playing the character, you'd keep going on that journey. It is at low level. No, it is a level bracket at low level. It's at low level because all the gear that you get out of that raid, you're not going to take it into the next raid. You're going to get gear from a low-level raid that you farm for weeks and weeks and months or whatever, however long it is. You're going to take that gear, you're going to level up with it, and by the time you get to 60, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Your BFD gear isn't going to matter when you're level 40. You know, when you're level 55, the shit you got out of Nomergon isn't going to matter. So it's just like, it depends on what matters to you. Gear that I'm gonna eventually replace, like, without getting into the next raid, doesn't matter. What I'll care about is when I'm at 60, and then I'll take gear from raid A into raid B, I'll take gear from raid B into raid C, or however many raid tiers they decide to release. And that just has appeal to me that farming up low-level gear doesn't. I don't understand the point of SOD. No, I don't care about the point of SOD. I don't care about your point of SOD. I do understand the point of it, and I'm saying I don't like it. That's what I'm expressing to you. And you're saying I do like it. See how we have different opinions? But see how your opinion's not going to change my opinion. My opinion is that gear from a level 25 raid doesn't mean shit. Your opinion is that it does. And you're allowed to have that opinion. But you're not going to change my mind. I couldn't care about any of the level 25 raid gear, just like I didn't care about doing Nomergon. But we're allowed to have different opinions. You're a person that cares about pre-raid bis. I'm not. We're just different players. The very first thing you said... The very first thing you said was, this dude definitely doesn't play competitively. You're absolutely right. So why would I value any of the things you value as a competitive player? The very first thing you said, you had it right, and then you were wrong about everything else. You should have stopped with the first thing. It's really bad from my perspective, yeah. From my perspective, SOD's been kind of a bust. That's all. I'm looking at it from my perspective, which is that I don't care about your low-level raids. I don't care about parsing. I don't care about my big numbers. I don't care about low-level raid gear. Like, yeah, that's my perspective. I don't care about those things. So for me, this season hasn't been super enjoyable. That's it. That's it. And as a matter of fact, there are more people that play WoW the way I do than there are people that play WoW the way you do. It's just that many of you people are super loud. That's it. There are more. Why bother playing? Yes. See, that's where we know. That's where we know the difference between you. You say, why even bother playing? So you're saying that unless I care about stroking my E-peen, unless I care about being super competitive, there's no way I could enjoy playing a video game? Are you really that fucking stupid? Like, why play it? I'm not playing it now. I played it while I had fun with it. And then as soon as I stopped having fun with it, I stopped playing it. Let's move on. Moving on. Going back and playing vanilla, that's not a bad idea though. Every other thing you said was fucking stupid, but going back and playing vanilla is not a bad idea. Vanilla was definitely the best version of the game. Of any version of the game that has ever existed, vanilla was definitely just the best. So yeah, like that's not actually a bad idea. And maybe if I ever stop having fun with Cataclysm, or if I stop having fun with other modes of the game, maybe I will. Yeah, it's always interesting to me where somebody can say a thing that clearly acknowledges that we are different people. They'll say something that like clearly points out that our viewpoints are different, and then they just keep trying to convince you of their way of thinking. It's like we've already agreed to disagree. You're not going to be able to say anything to change my way of thinking to your way of thinking. You're not going to be able to say anything to change my values to be your values. Just accept that we have different values. Just accept that the parts of the game that you love, I hate. I know it's hard because you want people to love all the shit that you love, but people are all different. You can keep loving the things about the game that you love even if I hate those things. I fucking hate logs. I fucking hate parses. I hate the idea of parsing. I hate all of it. To me, it's some of the worst shit that the game has created. But that's just my opinion. You can log and parse whatever the fuck for the rest of your days, but I am never going to change my mind. And it doesn't mean I'm going to go play a different game. I'm just going to hate those things, and I'm going to think they're awful for the reasons that I do. And that's it. And you're gonna like them for the reasons that you like them. And there doesn't have to be a reconciliation, and neither of us has to change their mind. We can just agree to disagree, and then we can not talk about it. And there don't have to be sides. Like we don't have to be. You don't have to be against people that have an opposite opinion. It's not a religious war. Like you don't have to feel like you're against somebody in a video game who enjoys it in the opposite way that you do. You know what I mean? It's like that's how people start off wrong in that kind of conversation, is they immediately assume that if we enjoy the game in entirely different ways, that we are opposed to each other. We don't have to be opposed to each other. In fact, we just get to live in our own spaces. I don't log, I don't care, and you do. And so I don't have to see your world, and you don't have to come see mine, but we can just coexist. But to be like, you hate the things that I love, why even play? Like, that's so fucking ignorant. Why you don't enjoy the things that I enjoy about the game, that I find value in, so why even play it? Maybe because I can enjoy other things about it while I'm playing it? I don't know, it seems pretty obvious. I'm supposed to be looking for these items, but I will tell you the truth. I always have trouble finding these items. And I don't know if today is going to be the day that I find these items or not. How many characters do I have? 736. This door is locked. I don't remember a locked door. The fact that I only have one of these items so far is a bad sign. It's a really bad sign. I feel like by accident I should have found at least a second one. Wait, is this the one that I already have? Oh no. Yeah, we might not be doing this one. Apparently this is the one I already have. How I don't remember that at all. Okay, it's fine. Let's try to find the shape-shifted guy. Maybe we can get him. We have to go release his spirit, and like if we find the other ones, that's okay. If we don't, that's okay too. I don't know if missing one quest is gonna make or break us here. Oh yeah, well people don't often argue that hard in real life because when you're being a belligerent asshat in real life, sometimes there are physical consequences to your asshattery. Whereas like people are fine being impolite and just belligerent online because there's no threat of any kind of reprisal. Like nothing's gonna happen, no matter how much of a dick they become. But yeah, in real life, people will not argue. They won't argue an untenable position that hard and that belligerently. And to be fair, like I would not handle somebody like that the same way in real life either. If someone were trying to argue with me that way in real life, I probably would not try so hard to like verbally rebut them. I'd probably say, "Hey, you're a fucking dick, shut up." And that would probably be the conversation in real life. Like it probably wouldn't be any kind of articulated conversation that we were to try to have. I would just tell you you're a fucking idiot, and then like I wouldn't have to explain myself at all. I would just express my feelings and then we'd move on. Alright, I don't think I'm finding this other relic. I really don't know, like, systematically I'd have to go through here and, like, mentally check off all the rooms I've been in, and I do not feel like doing that right now. So, yeah. Blood Moon, good afternoon. You're not blue, you're on a different account. I didn't recognize you there. Yeah, everything's fine. Just one person who had a viewpoint that was different than mine and thought they had to try to convince me of their way of thinking. And then just said stupider and stupider things in an attempt to do so. Ultimately, it's my fault for carrying the conversation forward. Oh, I did. Yeah, after, not, but I waited too long. I did, but I waited too long. It's one of those days. You mean you don't find parsing enjoyable? Yeah, I wasn't convinced that parsing was, like, the way to live. No, like, the problem is that, like, he convinced me more than ever that the people who care so much about parsing are all fucking asshats. I just got convinced more, like he polarizes me more against something that I already didn't understand or like. I was just like, yep, like seeing that kind of talk and that kind of behavior, like why even play it then? If you don't like this, like seeing that, like that just galvanized me more against parsing and logging. Like it was never gonna convince me. And in fact, it had the opposite effect. I was like, yep, and this is what's wrong with WoW. People like this. Like, and I don't really feel that way, but that's what that made me feel like. You know what I mean? Like, that's not in my thought process. Most of the time, I'm like, live and let live. But when I come up against that, I'm like, well, that's the problem. Right there's the problem with the whole fucking game. Is that, you know, more and more, this is for some reason what people care about, is their big dick numbers online, on the internet. Gotta have my big dick numbers. Gotta have it up there where everyone can see it, otherwise how could I possibly enjoy my gameplay? How could a video game possibly be enjoyable in any way if I can't stroke my fucking ego on the internet and just look down on other people who don't want to engage with that? Like, how else could I enjoy myself in these video games? Like, yes, that is what is fucking wrong. That's the problem. I didn't release the dude. I didn't release the dude or nothing. Dude didn't get released. I didn't complete the quest. I have failed at the quest. Oh. So yeah. Yep. Sometimes I'm good about like blocking somebody and ending a conversation like before my blood pressure rises. Other times I'm not. Other times they do every once in a while pull me into like actual conversation with them, which I should know better. At this point I should know better.
Glory to the horde.
Like unfortunately, like my classical training in speaking to groups of people comes from classroom facilitation. And in classroom facilitation, what I learned was to let everybody have a voice, to call on people, to engage people in their topics of conversation, and I was trained to like let everybody have a voice. And I was trained to like just kind of like if things were not quite to my liking, just to kind of endure it and try to talk through it. But I got to stop applying like my fucking corporate training and classroom facilitation to streams, because then what happens is out of a desire to let everyone have a voice, like I engage with a topic far too long, and then I get, you know, obviously it very much affects me, and I need to develop like a faster and swifter response to things that I know are meaningless to talk about and that are only going to be detrimental to discuss. That's what I need to do. And I need to stop trying to let everybody have a voice, because not everybody's opinions are actually valid here. And it sucks to say, but it might be the case. Not everybody's opinions have to be valid here. Everybody can have an opinion. It doesn't have to be valid. And I don't have to discuss it or validate it with discussing it.
Farewell.
Take the Asmongold approach and get him out of there. Yeah. It would probably be like a better idea. Basically the approach, like, because not a lot actually bothers me. So I guess the approach should be like, if you do manage to annoy me,
Yes.
if I feel my blood pressure go up, then I probably have to just boot you at that point. Because I'm not like super reactive to shit. So like if something gets to a point where I am actually bothered by it, then yeah, it's probably time for me just to boot the person and ignore them. And yes, we're back on the warrior. Yeah, I think like it might be a warrior's life for me. Shit, I should just go play vanilla, where warrior was the best class in the game, and there was like no class that even came close to it. I should, you know, he was right about one thing, and that is that I should probably just play vanilla. It's obvious. You knew he was gone, yeah. Yeah, I probably have some like I probably do reach a point where you guys can tell when I'm gonna have to get rid of somebody. The warrior gets more and more fun as it scales. Yeah, the warrior's like front to back, like probably just the funnest class in the game. Like a lot of it is like what makes it for me is charge. Like the momentum of charge, the momentum of just like cleaving through my enemies. Like absolutely, just like I can go from fight to fight. I feel like I focus a little bit more when I'm in melee. I feel like I focus a little bit more on what's going on. I feel like when I'm playing a ranged class, I tend to get distracted, and I don't know. Yeah, it might be a warrior's life for me. I just don't, I never get to really feel a big sense of momentum on a caster class. They feel steady, but they don't feel like they go, like in the way that I'd like to see. Now, what am I actually supposed to be doing here? We're killing officers, and we are gathering moon-kissed clay. Okay, okay. So we're clicking on piles of stuff. I gotta stop the impulse of setting them straight, though, because that's part of the same problem. Like, yeah... And what I guess like the difference is like when I'm setting someone straight, I'm not trying to convince them of my opinion. I'm trying to get them to stop trying to convince other people of their opinion. So like, but I probably still need to knock it off. Like I am a part of the problem. Like when I'm having a negative interaction with somebody, like I am obviously a part of that problem because I am one of the pieces of that interaction. And so yeah, like I try to like I have this impulse to like, you know, set people straight, but I probably just need to have the impulse to boot people who say shit that I find annoying. Like that would probably be better for like you guys who are just trying to chill and hang out. Like not everybody wants to hear me like verbally try to thrash somebody for being an idiot. Not everybody likes that. I don't particularly like having to do it. But it is one of those things in me that like I can't seem to help myself. If someone says something like borderline just ignorant, I do try to like explain how they're being ignorant to them. But I think that's like always going to be a losing battle for me and for my general sanity. Oh, the people that don't like it, they will let me know in the YouTube comments. They will let me know, like all the ways that they did not appreciate how I was such. Like it'll be, I can't believe that you would talk to somebody so rudely. It'll be it's always something like that. Like when I have a moment where like I'm human to human with somebody. And that person that I'm human to human with is being a belligerent asshat, and then I get a little belligerent, the comment is always, I can't believe you would talk to somebody like that. And it's like, well, stick around. Because when you're having real interactions with real humans, it happens. It's my channel, but it's supposed to be a safe place for you guys to come and chill. Those of us who are just like generally accepting that you know people are allowed to be different and have different opinions, still enjoy the game. Like it's supposed to be just like a chill place. I do try to keep it chill. So like I am always like low-key disappointed in myself when I have to like lay into somebody. Like I'm like, damn, I should not have done that. So I do have to get better at just like cutting it off before it gets that far, basically. What I need to do, next time I feel like I need to set somebody straight, I need to mute them first, and then I will say my piece about whatever they said. But I think the mistake is in letting it become a back and forth. So I think in that situation, like I knew where it was going. I think I would have been better to block, then to respond, and then to move along. Like then there would be no, like there doesn't need to be a back and forth. I guess in a situation where I am opposed to what somebody is trying to espouse, there doesn't need to be a conversation, I guess. Now I have to get back up there, except the way I got down here was to jump off a cliff, so now I have to actually find the road. Will it be faster to go back this way? Possibly. Corey, thanks so much for the membership, man. I appreciate that. And thanks for being here.
Loktar.
Let's see. We have a shield, which I don't plan to use, and there's nothing else, so we'll take the shield and we'll sell it.
With honor.
Let's go over here. Do we need to empty our inventory? Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
Hey, how you doing? Have a good one.
Use the improvised explosive stick on the broken down wagon at Hellscream's Watch.
Be good. Glory to the Horde.
I have an item that begins a quest. This quest was probably supposed to be turned in back at like Splinter Tree Post. It was for like a giant named bird that we killed. Yeah, okay, Sharp Talon. No, it's back at Silverwind Refuge. Okay, that's not too far. We have a flight point if we wanted to go turn that in, actually. Maybe we should, you know, we can keep doing stuff here and that's fine. I kind of want to check out Stone Talon. And I don't know if I should finish everything here first. I don't really know like what level Stone Talon is. But I'm kind of worried that I'll out-level it. I'm level 26 right now. Maybe not. The intro quest is still yellow, so maybe I'm still good for now. I just don't want to out-level the whole area. Broken wagon exploded. Okay. There's a broken wagon right here. Let's explode it. Boom. I guess we'll keep going here for now. And eventually we will go to... If this goes green, especially if the intro quest goes green, then we'll go.
Strength and honor.
Ooh, we get a blue for this. Oh well, we don't get a blue. Some classes get a blue item. We get nothing. That's tough. There's not even like a one-handed weapon. Oh man. We're gonna miss out. Let's see. So Tweedle finally came through on those explosives. They couldn't have come at a better time. The elves of Astranar are preparing to make a devastating assault on our camp as we speak. Drop our new weapon on them from the skies. The destruction of Astranar will be a dagger in the heart of the night elves everywhere. No, the dagger in their heart was when Sylvanas burns the tree.
For the Horde.
That was it. So that's a bombing quest. It sounded like a bombing quest?
Sub-sub.
I swear it said drop them from the air. Maybe we talk to the Flight Master?
Lookta.
Aha.
Strength.
Logic. Yeah, you know though, a bombing run is better than a vehicle quest where I have to control the vehicle. There's nothing I dislike more in a vehicle quest than when I have to like move it around myself. I would rather just have like, if you're gonna put me on a vehicle, I like turrets, like put me on a turret's okay, I'll man a turret. And then put me on a flight, because I don't want to have to wheel a tank around or any of that nonsense. There's a quest somewhere in the Plaguelands where you have to herd a bunch of spiders. You have to like herd them into like an enclosure so they can be killed by NPCs. Like I hated that one. I would much rather like have a nice and simple fly me over it, I'll blast away at it. I would rather be on my character running through here fighting guys, like if I had a choice, but this is better than like having to run a mount around in my opinion. I think I got everything? Yeah, we're good. We can press 3, we can return to base. Stone talent is 25 to 30. Okay, cool. So we're in a good spot then. We can do a little bit more here and we should be good. The first bombing run was introduced in Burning Crusade. In Burning Crusade in Hellfire Peninsula, each faction had a bombing run. And that was the first time we had seen a run like that.
What do you need? Go forth to victory.
We have the enemy on their heels. Victory is within sight. It is not yet time to celebrate though. There remains much to be done before the Horde can lay claim to Ashenvale. At Rainwood Retreat to the east, a battle has been joined. Reports indicate many Horde are wounded. Take these medicinal supplies there and give them to Thog. Tell him of our assault on Astranar. It may help bolster morale. Okay. So that seems like it's leading us somewhere else. Oh, these people have quests now, though.
Strength and honor.
Congratulations on your victorious assault of Astranar. The elves shall not soon forget the humiliation they have suffered at your hand. But you must know, the elves are not the only obstacle to the Horde's conquering of Ashenvale. To the east, a shaman of the Earthen Ring requires assistance with yet another crisis. You can find him near the base of the volcano. Okay, so now we're gonna get into like, oh no, the Cataclysm happened and the volcano elementals are angry.
May your blades never dull.
Buffalo Bill, you think my future is a warlock? I think you're trolling me. I don't know. You know, I really liked the Destruction Warlock and the Demonology Warlock in retail. In retail, the Warlock was actually fun. So far in Classic Era, I haven't met a Warlock that I've liked.
Keep it real.
I've tried several times. I think it's something about the core of like the class fantasy doesn't resonate with me, I think. Alright, what do we want to do? Let's see if we can go... Let's go to the Furbolg village. The troll charms... I feel like maybe that's in a cave? I don't know. What's my opinion on Sod? I'm not playing Sod right now. Yeah. I'm on Sod hiatus. And I've already kind of ranted about Sod a little bit earlier today, so I don't know if more Sod ranting is gonna happen right now. I will leave it at right now. Sod is my least favorite way to play the game. Right now. That might not always be true. It hasn't always been true, but that's how I feel right now. No Sod talk. Don't do it. No, I'm not. I won't rant about it again. I'll just summarize it as that. Right now, it's my least favorite way to play the game. No, see, it's okay. I can talk about things that I feel strongly about without my blood pressure going up. What raises my blood pressure is when someone is being ignorant and belligerent and they're flat out wrong about everything they're saying. Like, I can talk about anything, even if I feel like super passionately, and like I'm gonna be fine with it. It's only when other people are like incredibly ignorant that my blood pressure goes up. I love talking about stuff that I'm passionate about. I often have to stop myself. Otherwise, I would rant like non-stop. This guy's a rare spawn. I did not notice. He had a green leather chest. Yeah, but I don't really want to talk about Sod. Sod is a subject that I feel like I've talked about quite a lot. Eventually I'll learn how to decide that I'm going to talk about something. I'll learn how to press record. I'll learn how to record the rant. I'll learn how to put that up on my channel. And then when people ask me like common questions like, how do you feel about Sod right now? I can direct them to like a thoughts video. That's really what I should do. Because I know when I'm going to like go on about something for a bit. And so the next time that I just decide to go on about something for a bit, maybe I should learn how to press record. The totem is evade bugged. Good. The totem is evade bugged? Okay, there we go. But it was still able to hit me. Are there commands like on Twitch? Probably not. Probably not. If there are, then I don't know about them. But I don't know that there are. The closest that we can get to that is like a mod would have to drop a link. Like myself or a mod would have to drop a link to the rant. Please see the linked rant. Thank you. Have a nice day. But that would be too much work to actually expect of my mods. So I would probably, what I would do is I would say I've ranted about it on the channel. If you're interested, go have a look. That would be how I would handle it. Because otherwise I'd have to stop and like link something every like once in a while, and it'd probably get annoying to have to put up the links all the time. Yeah, you can't clip it. I would record it and then I would publish it like as a thoughts piece, and then it would have to live on the channel, and then, you know, people could be directed to it. We'll see. Then let's say this. I'll commit to the next time I rant about SOD, the next time I talk about SOD, which probably won't be until they announce Phase 3. The next time I rant about SOD, I will try to do this thing. I will press record. I will get it published and uploaded to the channel so that the next time somebody asks, I can direct them to it. And we'll see how that goes. And then that way, maybe for you guys that are here every single day, you don't have to listen to the same rant slightly different 2, 3, 4, 1 dozen times. Same thing for folks that are watching the VOD after the fact. Like, if I start recording some of these thoughts and directing people to them, I can stop repeating myself. And that can make for like just more chill, like a more chill stream where we can focus on, like, you know, what's actually going on. Yeah, covering the things that are asked most frequently, yes. Not just like any old thing I want to rant about. Like, how can people put butter in coffee? Like, I'm not gonna press record for the how can people put butter in coffee rant, you know? Just for the stuff that I'm asked all the time. Like, that are like opinions that I tend to get animated about and tend to go on about at length. I'd like to capture some of those. Alright, I think there is a cave, and I think maybe that's where the trolls are at, so let's keep heading back this way. Or maybe they're not trolls, maybe there are just troll charms on the ground we have to pick up. See, I have trouble sitting down to do a video about it, because when I think I'm going to do a video about it, my instinct is to write a script. And I don't really want to write scripts. So, but if I'm on stream and I'm talking with you guys, it is much easier for me to just start talking about my thoughts and just kind of letting it kind of feel more natural. Whereas if I make a video on it, then I'm gonna write a script, it's gonna be recorded script, it's gonna be edited, and I could get into making that kind of content, but that's like a whole different type of content that, like, I don't know how interested I am, because there are so many people who already do content like that, and they do it better than I do. But I feel like capturing, like, me having a chat with you guys, like, that is a little bit different. It's also less of a lift, and it'll probably come off as like a little bit more genuine. I feel like I could talk about it a little bit more genuinely if I'm talking about it off the cuff. I tend to, I'm out of practice with writing scripts too. Like, when I write now, I tend to get down into too many, like, rabbit holes when I'm trying to write stuff out. It feels much more natural just to talk, like, spontaneously about it. see, that's a quick answer though. See, that's too short of a topic. What are my plans for the beta? To play some different stuff and just try a few classes. But yeah, getting to max level, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get this character to max level. We'll see. I don't really know what my plans are for beta. See, that doesn't make for a very good video. I know what my beliefs are about things like SOD. I don't know what my plans are for this beta. My plans on the beta kind of shift every day. Like, like, for instance, I was doing the Worgen and the Goblins, right? And I kind of thought, like, maybe I could do these immersive recorded series during the beta. Maybe I can do them before the game is live. But then while playing those characters, what I have found is that there are enough bugs that I don't really know if it's like the kind of immersive like content that I want to have stand. Now I've kind of started to think like this will be better immersive story content when the zones are actually finished, when all the dialogue plays out correctly, when all the cutscenes actually work, and that's kind of, so yeah, like see how my plans with the beta change like all the time. But that's where I'm at. Where I'm at right now is I don't know. My plans with the beta are constantly shifting. And like right now I can say like I really love the warrior. The warrior is always a lot of fun. And I wouldn't mind having a warrior and taking them into Cata. Do I want to escort this guy? Maybe, but maybe after I get the rest of the items that I need. I think if I take a warrior into Cata though, it'll probably be a Blood Elf warrior, if I'm being honest. I did a Tauren warrior for the beta, knowing that it was like, you know, impermanent, kind of for like the nostalgia of like my original Tauren warrior. But in real life, I'd probably be a Blood Elf. Yeah, Blood Elves are the best race. Yeah, just the best race in the game. They should have always been able to be warriors. It made no sense. They were like, they're too physically frail to be warriors. It's like, that doesn't make sense. When something like a gnome can be a warrior, there's no, or like an undead can be a warrior, their bodies are like falling apart, and for them to be like, oh, the Blood Elves are too dainty to be warriors. I'm like, you're insane. Absolutely insane to have that be the reason why. Yes, Alex, exactly. That's definitely like a thought, right? The problem with my situation is like, if I want to play a warrior on the Horde side, I want to be a Blood Elf. I can't level a Blood Elf warrior yet. Like, that's the position that I'm in. Like, even if I knew 100% right now that was what I wanted to do, and I'm pretty close to like to deciding that. Like, I couldn't take action on it. I'd have to wait until the pre-patch to do my Blood Elf warrior. So like, there's really nothing I could do right now, like, to help myself, really. I could farm up a bunch of heirlooms, I guess, but that's, you know, that's another thing entirely. Yeah, basically, all I could do to help future me right now would be to farm up heirlooms, which is not a bad idea. I guess the easiest way to farm up heirlooms would just be to do a bunch of 5-mans on my Blood Elf Paladin. Just DPS a bunch of 5-mans. I already have a bunch of badges. My problem is I don't know how to downgrade badges, and I don't even know where the heirloom vendors are at. But my main problem is like, I don't know how to downgrade badges to the level that you would use to buy heirlooms anyway. Yeah, in Cata they're at the guild vendor, right. But I don't know where they're at in Wrath. I remember the ones from the guild vendor in Cataclysm, but I don't know where the Wrath ones are sold, and I don't know like what level of badges are required. It's like there's a big gap in my there's an heirlooms shaped gap in my knowledge. probably one of the reasons why I haven't tried to farm up heirlooms. It's somewhere in Dalaran, yeah. Somewhere in Dalaran, and then they take probably like either justice badges or valor badges, but like I have a bunch of higher level badges. So I would have to find some way to like trade down my badges to like a lower quality of badge. You need to come in?
I don't need you.
I mean, you can come in for a minute, yep. As long as you don't try to take over my stream. What's going on?
Just wanted to say hi. Ooh, I like the area that you're in. Is that like a zombie?
No, it's not. He's white. He just looks green because of the skybox and the lighting. So
Oh, and those like brown things on him look like it's meat or something.
No, he's a druid. Those are just like druid markings that are on him. He's a druid. He's shapeshifted. He's not a bear. He's a person like me.
Oh, is he NPC?
Yeah, he's an escort quest.
Oh. I thought that was when you had a pet.
No, I'm just escorting
I thought
him.
that was a pet, guys.
You can convert the badges at the goblin in the sewers. Okay, that makes sense, because I did get on and I looked at the vendors. I looked at all the vendors to see if maybe on the vendors there was an option to trade the badges down, and I didn't see it. So there's a goblin in the sewers.
What?
And you convert your badges to lower level badges at the goblin.
That's weird. I don't.
That is weird. I do get it,
I don't.
but it's good. You don't have to get it. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out then. I'm gonna see. I bet I can probably already get a handful of the heirlooms. I do have a bunch of badges on that character from when we were doing heroic plus. And then I guess if all I really wanted to do was get badges for heirlooms, I guess I don't have to do heroic plus. Like, what level of heroics would I want to do? Could I just do like base heroics and get the badges that I need for heirlooms? I wonder if anyone in Wrath right now actually runs the base heroics. It might be hard to even like find groups. But I'm definitely gonna go to the Goblin probably sometime tonight and try to figure that out.
This looks lush and green.
It looks lush and green. It is lush and green. Yeah, this is Ashenvale Forest. It's one of the Night Elf areas.
Night elf?
Night Elves. Yeah.
So is this like one of the places if you're a night elf?
It's near their starting area.
Oh, that
like,
kind of makes me want to play World of Warcraft again and then be a night elf.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a spider! Don't kill it, please! Oh,
It's aggressive. I have to.
oh it's aggressive.
I was headed this way.
You didn't have to kill it, right?
I mean,
guys?
I don't have to kill anything, but it's worth experience, and it's aggressive, and it's in my way. And it's a 100-pound spider. Like, I'm not, I'm not too concerned about it.
No.
Yeah, not only is he interested in what I'm doing, he would gladly take over what I'm doing. It's like a double-edged sword.
Is this like the bad guys?
This is my camp. I mean, it's the Horde side. The
okay, that's
Horde,
what I meant.
the Horde side are not the bad guys. They're just their own faction with their own agenda. But yeah, these are not like the humans and stuff. This is the other faction. Trolls, orcs, Tauren, Forsaken.
Are you a Tauren?
I'm a Tauren. Yep.
Makes sense. You look like a bull.
I look like a bull.
You look like a bull human.
A bull human. It'd be called a Minotaur. Would be
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
A bull human.
A bull human. Yeah.
Which has a camp, which has a huge campfire.
Yeah.
That's a big camp.
What do you want?
Really? Do you need that big of a
Yes.
campfire? Are you roasting like 1,000 s'mores? Like in a YouTube video about I roasted 1,000 s'mores and I didn't burn a single one in World of Warcraft.
I see. I need to check your YouTube history.
I'm just kidding.
Greetings.
You could.
I do anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Splinter Tree. I don't want to go to Splinter Tree.
Victory.
Do I not have a flight point to Silverwind Refuge? I thought we had a flight point down here. But now I'm not so sure. Splinter Tree, Morshan Ramparts.
Quite well, friend.
That's so weird. Maybe I just never grabbed the flight point. Let's go to Splinter Tree.
I saw your comment, Mom, and I'm coming.
Oh my gosh. Good
Bye-bye.
job. Good job reading. Alex, you think heroics might be easier to get into than the lower level gamma? Well, if I did any of the Titan stuff, I would do gammas. Yeah, we were running lots. Maybe I'll just keep running gammas. Maybe we'll run some gammas this week. I'll see what heirlooms I can buy, and I'll see like how many more badges I need, and then maybe I just do like a few hours of farming gammas on the Wrath Pally. Silverwing is yeah, we had quests outside of Silverwing. See, we have turn-ins down here, and like there was a flight point, and I thought I grabbed it, but apparently I didn't, which is a bummer. But yeah, we had a bunch of quests over here, and they had a little camp set up. I think they took the refuge basically. It seemed like we had taken it over. Yeah, the conversion is 1-to-1. I knew it would be, and I agree that it kind of sucks. Yeah. Right, you would think like a much higher level badge could be worth a handful of lower level badges or something, like some kind of easy like algorithm, but yeah, I knew it would be 1-to-1. And I'm okay with that, because like I don't need the gear from the higher level badges, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be raiding in Wrath, I don't care. So like I'm okay with it now. At this point I'm okay with it. Like back when we were doing gammas originally, I kind of wanted to gear that paladin up, but it's geared more than well enough to do the gamma runs, and that's really all I need to do. So I'll live with the 1-to-1 ratio, and we'll get some heirlooms, and then I could pop them onto a Blood Elf Warrior, and then I can do that when the pre-patch. I'm hoping that when the pre-patch comes out, we'll get Worgen the Goblin, we'll get all the class race combos added in. So that will be the plan. Guys, I think I'm gonna go for today. It's getting kind of late. It's been a great time. I really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out. For those of you interested in Dragon's Dogma 2, I think I'm going to try to play it tonight. I'm not going to stream it tonight. I think I'm going to get the game. I'm going to see if it runs okay on my rig. And then if it runs okay on the rig, I'm going to do a recorded immersive series with it. And if everything goes well, that will be up hopefully tomorrow morning. Or I could get the game, it could run like crap on my rig, because some people have reported that it doesn't run really well on PCs, and we could have no Dragon's Dogma 2. So yeah, wish me luck. Thank you guys again for the support. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves out there, and take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth again very soon. Bye.